And this will be my personal fourth time recording through Dragon Quest 1 for different YouTube channels and everything. And let me turn my audio in down so it's not bleeding through on the mic. Yeah, this game, I kind of like it a little bit. We're going to start off, and this may get a little confusing, but I'm going to name our character Loto. Actually, you know what? Loto's our ancestor. We'll name him Hero for the sake of the playthrough. Now, we tried and teased this a few months back on the Twitch page, and I discovered that Dragon Warrior 1 is not a very good stream Let's Play type game. Just because of how many points you really need to kind of grind doing a casual playthrough, it's not, that wasn't the best format. And so, we're bringing it here to YouTube, which lets me space it out, lets me take the grinding off screen so that I'm not running out of things to say the entire time. But it also lets it get on a more consistent upload schedule. I mean, there's 9 games in the main series here that we got to do, hopefully before the 11th one comes out on PS4, and then we can do that. But we also ran a Twitter poll, or I did rather, and by about 2 votes to 1, the Super Famicom versions of 1 through 3 were chosen, and the DS versions of 4 through 6. So this Super Famicom version is the only version that I've never done a recorded playthrough on, besides like the iOS version, or the new Japanese-only PS4 or 3DS versions. That being said, let's jump into the game here, because we're about to explain what we're going to do for the grinding a bit. I'm going to buy a club. Yes, I'd like to equip it right now. And then, you know what, whenever I started recording the NES version, I didn't buy the plain clothes. I just kind of went out into the world naked with a dragon scale and a club. Which, you know, I know, kind of sexy, right? But the grinding process ended up taking a little bit longer than it needed to because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the clothes here as well. What would you like to buy? A dragon scale. Huh? Why, certainly. Here it is, Hero. How can I help you? You can fuck off. Okay, so you have your item. This is a little bit cleaner of a layout than the NES version. In the NES version, you have take and stairs options as well. So you can search and just see that there's a chest there all day long that you're standing on, but you can't do anything with it. Which is really friggin' obnoxious. Okay, we have 14 HP, no MP, level 1. And we have to go into our actual menus to actually see how much gold or anything we have. Now, I'm going to do my best to cut out random encounters after the first episode or 2. But for now, while I'm explaining the grind, I'm going to leave them in. What you're going to do, initially, get your items, come down here, and you want to grind enemies in the hills because there's a better encounter rate. And you want to do that until you have enough money to get the copper sword, and then you want to grind out a little bit extra. Probably grind to about level 4 to get your copper sword down here. And then after that, you'll want to grind to level 7 before we head off to the next area. So after I get the other encounter that I can get here and show that off on screen, we're already level 2. Yeah, the experience is a lot friendlier in this version, which is part of why I wanted to do it instead. Like, I tried not to influence the polling, but The experience in the NES versions is just not friendly, as well as equips in some of the later games on the Super Famicom make it a bit more accessible. So there's less grinding, there's more useful characters, like the Prince of Canic in particular in Dragon Quest II. But that said, I'm going to go ahead and meet you after I have enough golden experience to continue on with our journey. Okay, we are back, guys, and we are level 4 now. We got our copper sword, and one of the things I was going to suggest you do to grind was come down to this mountain range, which, if you're familiar with the NES version, the very base of this here touches on another enemy territory. That's not in this version. So we're going to go ahead and start off our explorations a little bit early, because it's just not efficient to grind there anymore. Not time efficient anyways. So I'm going to leave in random encounters for this section too. The end of this little exploration journey is probably going to be the end of the episode. So kind of some baseline stuff for how we're going to do this game and this series. We'll go a fair amount of time, but really we're gonna go until it feels like it's good for a bit, until we get to a good stopping point on the episode. So you're not gonna have to worry about being in the middle of a cave and being on a cliffhanger. But this town up here is sure, I'll hear your song. Then a hymn. I generally don't talk to NPCs in this at all. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm training right now, but someday I want to become as talented as Garai. So this is Gariham. Or, no, it's just Garai. In the NES version, in the English translation anyway, it's Garinham, after the bard Garin. We do want to end up buying the Iron Shield here. That's 800 gold, though, and I'm not grinding that off of Slimes and Drakkies. That's just ridiculous. Chainmail we may end up skipping. I don't know. We'll see how the grinding is going in the next area we go to. This is the only town you can buy that shield, though, so that's why I wanted to make note. Plus, anytime I say to go back to Garinham or back to Garai, we need to come here, because there is a plot point later where we need to go in there. Now, from there, we're going to kind of work our way back to the middle of this part of the continent and then head east, because there's a couple bridges we want to cross. We got a new enemy, Ghost. He's not much different than the Slimes and Drakkies we've been fighting, just a little more HP and hits a little bit harder. I kind of forgot as well, because I did all my planning around the NES version, like plan for worst case scenario. So the experience in the NES version, you're chasing experience for most of the game. Gold for equipment, but really experience is what you're trying to rack up the most, because you spend hours upon hours trying to grind out the levels needed to do the final dungeon. This version, the experience is a lot more friendly. And because of that, I'm not sure how my checkpoints level-wise might balance out, because we do need certain equipment to progress further. So we're going to kind of play it by ear here on the off-screen grind sections and just kind of get a feel for it. And we got another level 5. And strength by 3, speed by 2, vitality by 1, HP by 4, and MP by 4. No spells at level 5, unfortunately. Level 7 is going to be our next decent spell. And that's the one that is absolutely necessary before we go to the next continent after this little exploration part. Now, Giant Scorpion is what should have been over there, down south of the mountains by Tantagle and Breckenary. And we are not hitting you hard at all. So we're going to try the Fireball spell out. Only costs 2 in this version. And heal only costs 3, which is a far cry better than in the NES version. We got a mage. Mage we should be able to take down, no problem. Yeah. They can also cast Fireball on you, though. So if you're moderately low on health, you need to be careful with mages. This is the town of Kull. And with the trees here, they space it out well for you. South of the bath in Kull, there's an item here. Or there's an item here. It's around here somewhere. There we go, the fairy flute. We're going to need that much later in the game. For now, it's just something we're picking up because there's limited inventory space. And if we're going to be limited by something later, we might as well be limited now. So, what we're going to do off screen for equipment between now and the next episode is we are going to grind up 1,000 for the iron armor and another 1,500 for a weapon we're going to grab over at the next town. I'm going to get a shield now just because things are going to hit me hard. We're also going to grind up another 800 and buy that shield in Garai off screen. So we got a lot of gold chasing to do. I'm not sure what level we're going to be at by the time we get to the end of that. So just kind of feel it out if you're playing along at home. And let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. I can do this. New to the SNES version of this, or Super Famicom version, you can look inside pots, you can look inside drawers, and you can find stuff there. You noticed earlier that it didn't auto-equip new equipment whenever we bought it, like in the NES version. And in this, you can hold stuff in your inventory slots, which is kind of cool. It means you don't get screwed out whenever you get the in-game stuff out of chests or the places around the world where it is, to be as spoiler-free as possible. But yeah, we're gonna go get a buttload of gold off screen, and then next time we're gonna explore the future continent, where we're gonna have another grind break interrupt between it and some story, but we should get some more story and at least do one of the side quests while we're there. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys really enjoy Dragon Conquest as much as I enjoy playing it. So have a good one.